What's up, everyone? Welcome back to King Anime Review, and for this video, I'll be reviewing episode 283 of Boruto Naruto Next Generations, titled Sasuke's Story Storylines. So this episode started off with Sasuke getting beat up by some guards, and then he was talking to his cellmates, and they were telling him he should go to the doctor. It's a new, beautiful doctor there. They also said that she's single, and one of his cellmates said something about Zanzo having a secret cellar or something like that. And then we had a scene where Zanzo, he basically revealed that it's a new Minnow, because the other Minnow that Sasuke basically cut up, that Minnow was damaged and he was laying on the ground, and it was another Minnow. So yeah, it was revealed that it was another Minnow. And then Sasuke basically went out, snuck out, he started sneaking around again, and he ended up fighting the other Minnow. Now, I got to clarify something. In my last review, I said that the preview, I didn't like something in the preview for, this episode, because in the preview, I seen that Sasuke had a regular sword. Now, when I went back and read the manga, I read some of the manga, and I actually got the fights mixed up. So in Sasuke's first fight with Minnow, he actually used a ice-style kunai. And I was talking about in the preview for last week when I was talking about the preview for this week's episode, I was saying, like, I was kind of disappointed that he wasn't using the ice-style sword. Now, he didn't use the ice-style sword, but he used the ice-style kunai in his first fight against Minnow, not his second fight. So I actually got that mixed up. So the first fight that he had with Minnow was a lot better in the manga because he actually used the ice-style kunai, which is the first time we've seen him use ice-style. So yeah, the first fight that he had with Minnow was way better in the manga than it was in the anime. Now, the second fight he had with Minnow is the opposite, though. It was a lot better in the anime than it was in the manga. And the reason I say that is because in the manga, he actually ended up running away from Minnow, which is kind of ridiculous because he shouldn't have to run away from a dinosaur. So he ended up running away from Minnow because the poison. So he did get poison in the manga as well, just like he did in the anime. But yeah, he ended up running away from Minnow. But in the anime, it looked like he was still going to fight Minnow. Now, I think he could have one-shotted Minnow. I mean, that should be obvious. Obviously, Sasuke is plot nerfed in his arc. It's kind of like plot-induced stupidity. But yeah, he should have, like, in the manga, he ran away from Minnow. But in the anime, they had him, like, basically stand his ground still. And he was probably just going to one-shot Minnow. And even when he was talking about this fight to Sakura, when him and Sakura was talking about this fight later, he basically said that he could have handled that by himself. So yes, he most likely was going to one-shot Minnow. He was probably going to get serious. Now, I do understand the fact that he's not using his most powerful abilities because he doesn't want to leave traces of a fight. He literally said that in the last episode. So obviously he's holding back. And in the last episode, he literally said he was going too far. So for all the people all of the people who think their power skill is and trying to say, oh, Sasuke's not even dinosaur level, get out of here with that nonsense. He was literally holding back in last week's episode, and he didn't even want to leave traces of a fight. And the same applies in this episode. He didn't want to leave traces of a fight, so he was kind of holding back. Obviously, he wasn't using his full power. But still, even when he's holding back, he shouldn't be having, he shouldn't be getting scratched by a dinosaur. That's pretty ridiculous. I already talked about in my last review how he could have literally just froze the dinosaur with his Rinnegan because Rinnegan users have control over gravity. They can freeze stuff in place and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the case with that. Anyway, so after that stuff, he fought Minnow. He had a brief fight again. He tried to use Genjutsu again, which, like I said, that's dumb. That's like plot-induced stupidity because he already did it in the last episode. He already tried to use Genjutsu. Now, this time he was confirming that Genjutsu, if it works, and obviously he tried to use Genjutsu again, and he confirmed that it didn't work. So yeah, it's kind of strange that he would be using Genjutsu again, even though he tried it in the last fight against Minnow. But I guess you could say maybe it's because he thought it might have been a different dinosaur. And because in the last episode, he was, thinking about, oh, is that a different dinosaur? Because he was thinking that in the last episode. So I guess you can make that excuse, but still, I'm not really liking the Sasuke versus Minnow stuff, really. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. Like, he should just, like, be able to literally just freeze him with his Rinnegan. Obviously, Sasuke is plot nerfed in his arc. And I can't understand why. That's one of the biggest reasons why a lot of people didn't like this novel and manga is because of Sasuke being nerfed in that way, him fighting a dinosaur. And for the Sasuke fans who didn't like this story, and believe it or not, there are some Sasuke fans who didn't like this story, that's one of their main criticisms. And I actually agree with that. That is a very dumb thing. However, Sasuke has been plot nerfed throughout the entire story of Boruto, and even going back to Naruto Shippuden when he got the Rinnegan. Ever since he's got the Rinnegan, he's been nerfed. Like, he hasn't been using genjutsu at all in any fights ever since he got the Rinnegan. So, there's plenty of other Rinnegan jutsu and stuff that he hasn't used in the series since he got it. So, yeah, he's been nerfed ever since, like, the end of the Naruto manga / the end of Shippuden. He's been nerfed. So, him being nerfed in this arc is not really it's not, it's not really something that I think would drag the story down, drastically. It does drag it down a little bit, but not, drastic enough to say it's a trash story. So that's the case with that. Now, anyway, so he got healed by Sakura. And yeah, Sakura was basically saying, hey, you need a partner. Because Sasuke basically told her she should go back to the Elite Village. But Sakura basically said, you need a partner on a mission like this where you can't rely on just brute force. Because this is basically an undercover investigation type of mission, which people need to understand. That's one of the reasons why Sasuke is not going all out. But anyways, yeah, so they were just talking about the mission. Sakura told Sasuke that Kakashi found the book related to the Sage of the Six Paths, and it revealed something about the map of the heavens, is what they're calling it. And yeah, that's apparently what they need to get, and it also revealed something about the polar particles or whatever. And that has the cure, or that's basically what the Sage of the Six Paths got cured by. And so they basically found out, they were exchanging information about that. And then Gigi, he was like hiding behind a door, and Sasuke heard him. So he went to see what he was doing. They had a brief little talk, and then, they started walking around and talking about, their relationships. And Gigi was basically saying he thinks a husband and wife should always be together. And yeah, so he also said that he thought Sasuke should give Sakura a ring. So that's pretty much what they were talking about. And then later on, we got a scene where Sakura went to talk to, I forgot his name. I think his name is Pendula or something like that. But anyway, she went to talk to the librarian, and they cut out a lot of stuff that was in the manga. I don't know if some of this stuff that they cut out was in the novel, because maybe this stuff wasn't in the novel and then the manga just added this stuff in. I don't know. But they did cut out a lot of scenes. Like, Sasuke was talking about putting this guy in a genjutsu. They cut that scene out. Also, it's kind of weird that when Sakura took off her jacket, she didn't have the Uchiha crest on her back. I don't know if that was an artwork error or if she's just not wearing the Uchiha crest in this arc for whatever reason. I don't know. Kind of weird. But yeah, so Sakura played cards with this guy. She played cards with him, and if she won, the agreement was she would get the key to a basement where she could find the book that she was looking for, a book that was apparently written by the Sage of the Six Paths. And yeah, she ended up winning the game. And yeah, and then she told Sasuke that, she basically memorized the cards and that's how she won and stuff like that. And then we got the scene where Sasuke, he was thinking about what Gigi told him, and then he basically decided to give Sakura a ring. And also he was thinking, he asked Sakura, like, do she worry about him being gone and about them not being together all of the time? And Sakura said basically she doesn't worry, but she would like for him to be, there's certain times where she would like for him to be with her, right by her side. So yeah, Sasuke gave Sakura the ring, and yeah, Sakura thanked him, and she was really happy about that. Then they found the book that they were looking for, and then they found out, they ended up figuring out that the pictures were basically pictures, that were related to the tail beast. And yeah, so they figured that out. And basically it was a guy who was like listening on their conversation as they started figuring stuff out. Sasuke told Sakura about the director Zanzu's room and stuff like that, and how it's a cellar there. And then Sakura basically said that, oh, it's somebody from the capital of Radaku coming, so they can use that as an opportunity to get into Zanzo's room. I like the little setup of the guy listening in. If you guys don't know who that is, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but yeah, it's cool that they set that up. That wasn't in the manga. I don't think he was listening in on their conversation in the manga. But yeah, that's the case with that. And yeah, that was pretty much the end of the episode. Overall, they cut out a lot of stuff from the manga. I don't know if that's because some of this stuff from the manga wasn't in the novel like that. So maybe, like I've been saying, maybe they're going strictly off the novel. But I think they did cut out that scene where Sakura used this sensory type jutsu. I think they cut that scene out. I'm not for sure, though, because maybe that scene is supposed to be in the next episode. So hopefully they didn't cut that out, because it's already unfortunate that they cut out Sasuke's ice style jutsu. So I hope they don't cut out Sakura's new, sensory jutsu that she used for the first time in this arc. But anyways, overall, although they did cut out some things from the manga, and I liked the way they had in the manga more as far as the stuff that was going on, the library scene, the card game, you know, I just like how things were in the manga more than how they were in the anime. Aside from that second Sasuke and Minho fight, like I said, the Sasuke and Minho fight, the second one that they had to happen in this episode, it was better than the one from the manga. So the Sasuke and Minho fight from the manga was a lot worse than the one that we got in the anime because, like I said, you know, Sasuke didn't run away from Minho in the anime like he did in the manga, and he looked like he was about to finish Minho off, and he literally said, you know, he could have finished Minho off. He said he could have taken care of it without Sakura. And yeah, he did start to, like, you know, kind of, he did like pass out after Sakura came in, but when Minho was charging at him, he would have had enough time to finish off Minho before he passed out, because he passed out when Sakura, like after Sakura came in to help him. So yeah, that's the case with that. Overall, oh yeah, and one more thing. They didn't reveal the fact that Zanzo's eye is glass, like how they did. Like I complained about that in my last review. I said I'm not going to complain about it too much though. And what I meant by that was I'm not going to take off points for that, for them not revealing the fact that Zanzu's eye is glass, because they could have, you know, revealed that in this episode. However, they didn't even reveal that in this episode. So at this point, yeah, I'm really kind of annoyed that they just haven't revealed the fact that Zanzu's eye is made out of glass. So I'm really annoyed by that. And, you know, I'll probably take off like maybe like a half a point from my review of last week's episode, which I gave a 10 out of 10. So I'll probably take off I'll probably give it like a 9.5 out of 10. Last week's episode. But yeah, as far as this week's episode go, I didn't like, you know, let's just put it like this. I prefer how the manga handled things better as far as everything goes, except for the Sasuke and Minho fight, because the anime actually did that better. But overall, it was still a great episode. Art and animation was great, and the story was still great, and they covered all the points they needed to cover. So overall, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. Another great episode of Boruto Naruto Next Generations. I wish they kind of did things more how the manga was doing it for the most part, but overall, still a good episode. And yeah, I like the way things are going. So with that being said, if you guys like the video, please drop a like. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and clicking that channel notification bell to be notified on all of my future videos. And share the video all over the internet. And drop a comment. Let me know what you thought of this episode and of my review in the comment section below. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.
I wanted to. I'll be a hero.